Calling the Army of Garbage. Don't sleep on those live show tickets, baby.
No way.
We're going to be in New Orleans, Dallas, and Houston in about 2 weeks.
Yep, and we also have Portland, Seattle, Vancouver. Second show added.
Hey, don't.
Plus all the cities on the Route 66 tour. Get your tickets now at rugarbage.com. We want to see you out there. Yeah.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite podcast. This is Are You Garbage?
Oh, yeah.
It's that little show we sit down with your favorite comedians, and we find out if they're good to be classy.
Yeah.
Or if they're just a big old piece of trash.
Trash.
I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day. We're out back here at Tootie's in a new edition. She's down at the barbershop getting her Brazilian done.
Okay.
Getting ready for the summer.
All right.
My co-host is coming at you from right next to me, slightly amused this week. He is the CEO of Are You Garbage. He is an international businessman, and he's my best pal in the whole wide world, and I love him. Give it up for KJ, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
What up, gang? Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. As you know, those numbers are
True to roof.
Cooking. Then obviously the greatest website of all time, www.patreon.com/areyougarbage. You go over there, you get up to a bajillion hours worth of content, gang.
Ooh, love that money. How about a nice shout out to our producer extraordinaire, the old magic man, makes us all look good. Works the ones, the twos, the threes, and the fours. He crosses the T's and he dots the I's. Give it up for T-Bone McScruffins, Toby McMullen, everybody.
What up, boys?
What up, T-Bone?
Let's go, dude.
Right?
All-time good guy, this guy.
I mean, I wouldn't have the haircut I do without this gentleman.
Sure.
Getting better looking by the day, I gotta say.
Guy.
Gang, the long hair ain't lying because we couldn't be more excited to have our incredibly, and I mean incredibly special guest here with us today for the first time. He's a very funny, very successful stand-up comedian, actor, and podcaster. And you might have seen him, but not limited to. You got Meet the Robinsons, Ellen, Dumb and Dumber, Down Periscope, Wag the Dog, David Mamet, very nice.
Yeah.
Love that. Half-Baked, There's Something About Mary, Superstar, The Whole Nine Yards, Freddie Got Fingered, The Gina Davis Show, Las Vegas, My Name is Earl, Employee of the Month, Robot Chicken, Sausage Party, Kill Tony, Tiger Belly, The Tonight Show, Conan, Carson Daly, The Daily Show, Premium Blend, David Letterman, Oddballs. You can hear him every week on his amazing podcast, The Harland Highway, and he's got a brand new movie coming out very soon called Wingman. Give it up for the one, the only, Mr. Harland Williams, everybody.
Thank you.
There he is.
Thank you. That was quite the
Looking
menu.
sharp.
Yeah.
Quite
Wow.
the menu.
Buddy, you've been killing it for a while.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've been blessed, happy. I just lucky I get to do what I love to do.
Sure.
Very good outlook on it.
You
Yeah.
are getting better looking. Not that you've always haven't been a good-looking guy. People are telling you that. You're aging very well.
Very well.
I came to do a podcast, not get hit on.
You take that top off, big guy.
Awkward. I will. I'm going to.
First guy to roll in with a can of Coke, too. I respect
delicious. Yeah, it's good for the gums.
I mean, we were like 450 episodes. He rolled in with a half-empty can of Coke. That's all right.
And it's warm, too. That's the bonus.
Found it on the street.
It tastes like elk urine. Yeah.
Give us the backstory. Give us the origin story of Harland
Before
Williams.
I do, can I just
Please.
And I don't mean to Daddy doesn't mean to slide in here and critique you guys.
Go right
out of the
ahead.
gate.
Fire away.
But I'm about camaraderie. I'm about upping the game for my friends,
Okay.
for my acquaintances, my peers. I noticed in your intro you said www.com something.
Sure. Patreon.
We don't do the WW anymore. That's like if someone asked for your phone number and you included the area code. Yeah, my number's bracket 323 bracket 925-744. Let's get rid of the www from a friend to a friend.
I'll listen. I'll take the notes.
Yeah.
I'll workshop some things and maybe
Workshop. But you have elves?
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it up the flagpole.
This is our lose the just Facebook.
Just go Facebook. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's just me looking out for my
we
guy.
appreciate it.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking going the other way, including the HTTP
Backslash.
semicolon.
Someone likes to work.
I get paid per word, Harland.
Welcome to Amish country. Wow.
We might have some Amish listeners. They don't know what the hell's going on.
Do the Amish? They don't have they can't listen, right? They don't
Legally, I don't think legally.
They don't
but
have
on the
the
download,
equipment,
they do.
right?
They
No, on the
do,
low.
yeah. They dabble.
They do?
Yeah, you'll get some rogue Amish people. Rumspringa is pretty big. I'm sure they consume some podcasts during Rumspringa.
So like Lawrence is sneaking out into the barn in the middle of the night
Listening
and
to
cranking
Megadeth.
up a computer or
He's
something.
going to www.patreon.com/areyouGarbage, Harland.
Oh, so you just did it again, my guy.
You're a Canadian guy. Do you? Is there Amish up in Canada?
Yeah,
There are.
ish.
Amish-ish.
Yeah,
Are they like Mennonites or?
they're sort of Amish, but ish. They're
Okay.
Amish-ish.
Are they on the outskirts?
I don't know if they wear dresses. I mean, guy, I
Man,
haven't-
he's quick, huh?
well, if you're gonna be nosy,
That was the most Canadian thing. You're gonna be nosy.
Hey, you mind your own business, fella.
yeah, www. Mind your own business. How about that? Ish.
.com
Ish.
/
Dot
Kevin
.ca
Ryan.
if it's Canadian.
No, replace it with .ish.
Dot
The
ish.
Amish.
Dot
funny.
ish.
Yeah, give us the scoop. Where you grew up?
Oh
all
yeah.
that?
Okay, so we were farm family.
Really?
Grew up in we call ourselves corn people. We grew up like crops, corn,
Sure.
farming.
What part of Canada?
We were in the rural part, outside of just outside of a town called Newmarket.
Is that on the east, west?
That's about. She's about.
That is some country.
Yeah, that
She's about.
She's
Yeah.
about probably, I'd say about an hour 25 north of Toronto, the
Okay.
big city.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
biggest city in Canada, Toronto.
Right.
So we were corn people, and we ran about, I want to say 600 acres, but it was just under. It was about
Family farm.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it in your family before your
yeah,
parents had
yeah,
it?
handed down, and so we were corn folk and loved corn.
Were you? I assume you were working on the farm at an early age.
Yeah, we were always up early, like sometimes 5 in the morning.
Oh, shit.
John Deereing it up.
What were your responsibilities?
Well, we had to collect the corn. We had to, like, my dad got me rigged up in the John Deere at like an early age.
kidding.
I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but we were sort of like. We were like underage tractor drivers. Like
I think the statute of limitations is passed.
I know, but I just feel weird. Like my dad, he's in his 90s, and I'd hate to see him get arrested at this age. But
Mr. Williams, we need to talk.
Yeah, you're the punk we're looking for.
he'd wake us up and taught us how to ride the rigs around, and it was great.
I mean, it sounds
That's
like a big
awesome.
operation. And how many
Yeah.
of there were you? How many
Well, I
brothers?
have 4
and sisters?
sisters,
Four
and I was
sisters.
the only guy.
Really, older or
So,
younger?
I was in the middle. Whoa. So it was toughy. It's hard to have friends when you're out there.
Sure.
This is a little embarrassing, but Corky, the scarecrow, was. Well, we had a scarecrow, and I sort of like, you don't want friends when you're way out there.
Sure.
You don't have you're not going to play with the girls.
Right.
And my dad put this wonky scarecrow. It's kind of creepy, to be honest, but I nicknamed him Corky. And I would talk to him. I would go out in the corn and talk to him. And
It's like
he was-
Canadian Castaway.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
sort of like my I don't know,
imaginary friend.
Imaginary friend, but to me it was very real. And I'd get mad when crows came around. Like I'd get really sort of pissed me off. I thought they were sort of taunting them and messing with them. And,
What was the school situation?
homeschooled?
Really?
Yeah.
No
yeah.
kidding.
Who did
Yeah.
the teaching? Mom?
My mom did most of it, but I went to night school, so my dad did. He came into my room at night, and we read Curious George. We read Where the Wild Things Are. All the books.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think you might be the first homeschooled guest we've had.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
Up until when?
Right up till prom, and then it's grade. In Canada, they did grade 13, right?
Okay.
So right up to grade 13, and then I graduated in the living room, and then I went out into the world from there.
Is he fucking with this?
I don't
feel
know.
like
I think
fucking
he's
with this.
serious.
What do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean up until prom?
Did you go to prom?
Yeah, in the living room. We had it at the house.
It was me and Corky split a limo.
What the? What?
Who'd you take to prom?
My mom? Hello? I'm not going to take one of my stupid sisters.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Were you really homeschooled?
Yes. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
The whole way through high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
You didn't graduate high school.
Well, I graduated my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got
Yeah.
a certificate of
Well, I
some.
got a lease. I got a deed.
You get,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
From
my parents.
From your parents.
Yeah.
They gave you.
What was the highest math that you took in the house?
Probably like 9 times 10.
Yeah, so no one
Like-
taught you like trigonometry
Nah,
or
I'm
calculus.
not.
algebra,
I ain't no academic. I'll tell you that. Like,
Did you go to college?
I thought angles was anal my whole life, and yeah, really,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So-
can't tell if you're being serious or not, and I love it. Did you go to college?
I did not. No,
No college.
no. It's you.
How do you get from the cornfields
To
to
the big
Los
screen.
Angeles
Well,
to being in Dumb and Dumber?
when you have an audience of one who can't leave, who's literally got a stake into the ground, and you spend
Corky?
every sunset of your adolescence running your routine past Corky, you get sharp quick.
You're able to
get
handle
good.
that, and that Corky can be a tough critic.
Yeah.
I hear.
Oh God!
Yeah.
But we had fun.
We're off the rails officially. I like it.
Okay.
Was there a pond on the land? Like,
Yeah.
He's lying. He's probably from Toronto.
Grew up in a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you played pond hockey. That was my other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We
How
did.
far he goes
yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any sports? What were the sports growing up?
Hockey, man.
Hockey.
That's
The
Canada.
national pastime.
Yeah.
So you played hockey.
Played hockey my whole life.
What position
Yeah.
we talking?
Forward.
Okay,
Yeah.
right or left?
But I did both. I would vacillate. I don't know
Whoa.
if that's a word your
I was
audience is
homeschooled, I don't
familiar
know.
Who
with.
were you playing hockey with?
So I played at
Corky's
my
got a wrister that'll put you out.
Corky.
So it wasn't that. You weren't homeschooled.
Hey, what now? I actually went to a hockey camp, and then I played when I moved to LA. I played in leagues in LA,
Okay.
ice and roller.
No kidding.
Yeah, loved it.
Huh.
Yeah, I love hockey.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you play?
Hockey?
Yeah.
No.
I
Play
did.
lacrosse.
Oh, lacrosse. Yeah, that's a Canadian game too.
Yeah.
You played
I
hockey?
played hockey growing up, yeah.
What position?
Right wing.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what a treat.
Yeah. Good times.
Who's your team in Canada? Who do you like? Maple Leafs?
No, because they always lose. They just recently lost.
Sure.
So I just go after whoever's the Canadian team, and then if they get knocked out, I moveon.org. You know, yeah,
www.moveon.org.
Huh.
All right. So you're lying about the homeschool thing, right?
yeah. I don't like to say lying, but
I'm not telling the truth.
You do have 4 sisters.
yeah,
Your family did have a corn
yeah,
farm.
yeah.
Okay.
Parts.
Who were you selling the corn? Who was your dad selling the corn to?
He'd just take it down to the local market. Yeah. Yeah, we did gourds too. Do you like gourds?
I enjoy a gourd around Halloween
yeah.
and Thanksgiving. Not to eat. They're not eating.
No, they're not edible, but gourds are, my dad called them pumpkins with herpes. And you ever seen how bumpy they
Hell of
are?
a branding.
Yeah, they're gross,
yeah.
man. They're gross.
But yeah, so it was a good, fun childhood growing up. You know?
What was the grocery store that your mom would go to?
The Novar General?
The Novar
Yeah,
General.
that was the little town next to our town, and Novar General store.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was the first car growing up?
my car.
Yeah.
What was the family car?
Well, we had a Studebaker when I was a youngin'.
Okay.
Okay.
Mom had a Studebaker.
Is that a wagon?
No, this wasn't a wagon.
Just a sedan.
And then they got a Volkswagen wagon, station
Okay.
wagon, because there was all the kids. And then my dad got a Pinto, a Ford Pinto.
Oh shit.
He got a few of them.
Huh.
I don't know why.
Multiple Pintos?
Multiple
They were
Pintos and
notoriously
multiple
horrible.
orgasms. He used to get excited
Used
in
to
them.
double up.
Yeah, and so we had those, and then they had a Toyota Corolla station wagon.
Okay.
And then I
Even though
ended
they
up
made a station
buying that
Off
off my
that.
parents for like $800 after they'd sort of run it into the ground.
800.
And that was my first rig. Yeah.
Okay.
That seems pretty expensive for back then. A beat up
Yeah.
Corolla, 800.
Well, the fact that they made me buy it off
It's
them
pretty
too
crazy,
is
yeah.
created
800
a lot
seems
of
like a lot.
resentment
Yeah.
and bitterness. And I at one point I was actually. Have you ever heard that magazine Soldier of Fortune?
Sure.
And in the back you can find like
You can
professional.
hire the A-team.
Yeah, like hit killers, hitmen. I literally dialed a few and went right to the 7th number and then
Pulled back.
What'd
yeah.
they do? Kidnap your daughter? No, my dad overcharged me for a Pinto.
Kelly
There
Blue
you go.
Book's 400,000.
Yeah. I mean, they really had it coming.
Okay.
Pintos are notoriously dangerous too.
Yeah, did they blow
Notoriously
up?
bad. Like the gas tank was in the front or the trunk
It was in the
or
back.
something.
It was
in the
yeah.
back. You get rear-ended.
It's like riding around with a loaded gun to the back of your head.
I didn't buy the Pinto. I bought the Corolla.
Corolla.
Yeah. I
What
called
color
it,
was it?
It was gold. Like we called it the Golden Nugget.
That's
pretty
all
good.
right.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
name.
You drive that in high school?
No, I drove that after when I went to college.
Okay. Where'd you
Yeah.
go to college?
And outside of Toronto, Oakville.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
play hockey in college?
No, that's when I took a break.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just focused on college.
What was the major in college?
Classical animation.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to be, an animator?
No, I wanted to be a cartoonist.
Okay.
But they didn't teach that in. They didn't teach cartooning at any university. So I found the closest thing, which was moving cartoons, which is animation.
Right.
So I thought as long as I'm drawing cartoons,
You're good.
Moving away,
it'll
yeah.
be a good.
Step.
The thing for me to do for college years.
So you weren't thinking about stand-up high school and college?
No.
It was after.
Yeah, every now and then it might have flirted and drifted into my head.
Popped in your head.
But it wasn't a viable. I knew I was probably going to be an entertainer
Okay.
at a very early age, but I didn't know where, how, what, why, who, any
Gotcha.
of that. Yeah.
Gotcha. What were the vacations like growing up? Where would you guys go? And did your dad do well with the farm?
Yeah.
They did good.
All right, my dad we weren't farmers.
You son of a
bitch. I just wanted to give the audience some rural fun out of the gate.
Kev, this is Liquid IV.
Shout out to Liquid IV.
Now, you're a booze bag. I'm going to tell you, when you wake up in the morning with a hangover and a bad attitude,
Okay.
something that alleviate that is a Liquid IV. I know you like to have it before you go to bed.
Pro move, do it before you go to bed. Let it work overnight. Well, why fight the hangover? Let it fight while you're snoozing.
Sure.
You know what I
whether
mean?
whether you're hungover, whether you're not feeling well, whether you're sicky, whether you're working out, you got to do yourself a favor and get Liquid IV. It's a powdered drink mix with optimized ratio of electrolytes, vitamins, and nutrients. One stick of this stuff will deliver 3 times the electrolytes. I'm telling you right now, that's how we're doing it right now.
Of the leading sports drink, plus 8
Of
vitamins
course.
and nutrients.
And they taste good.
They even got sugar-free version that tastes amazing, has no artificial sweeteners. Just mix up a stick in a bottle of 16 ounces of water, and you're good to go. Don't be dehydrated this summer, you bozos. Here's the turkey. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com. Use the code GARBAGE at checkout. Let them know the boys sent you.
Sure.
Let us wet our beaks a little
Sure.
bit. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code GARBAGE at liquidiv.com. Do it.
Kip, I was going to tell you about Bespoke Post, but I know you don't like cool guy stuff.
Get out of here.
You're kind of a lame-o.
What?
But for the rest of yous out there, Bespoke Post, they got that box of awesome.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about. You got the smoking thing for the nice drinks. You got a goddamn arsenal of pocket knives out there.
Yeah.
They sent us throwing stars.
I'm like Bill the Butcher out here. Who wants what, baby? I'm opening Amazon boxes. I'm slicing apples. Whatever you need, I got it.
Gang, the spring, the summer's coming. It's a good time. Do yourself a favor. Every month you get a bunch of cool stuff that shows up at your house, whether you want outdoor grilling stuff, you want outdoor stuff, you want stuff for inside the home.
Camping,
grooming
fashion,
stuff,
whatever you want.
Or knives.
Yeah.
We literally got throwing stars.
Yeah. We were throwing them at the wall like fucking 48 hours ago. Explore new brands, discover new interests, and be the coolest guy on the block. 90% of everything that comes in your box of awesome is from a small and up-and-coming brand.
Small business.
Get a free mystery gift with your first monthly shipment when you sign up at boxofawesome.com/garbage. Enter the code GARBAGE at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com/garbage. Use the code GARBAGE for a free mystery gift in your first monthly shipment. Boxofawesome.com/garbage. Code GARBAGE. Do it.
Let's go.
Really razz him with the
What'd your
corn
dad do?
My dad was actually a politician and a lawyer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why the Pinto frustrated me, because my dad worked for a law firm, and I asked him, I go, why do you have a Pinto? And he goes, I could have any car. My law firm said I could buy any car I wanted. And I said, well, why don't you have a Mercedes? And he goes, because all I need is a Pinto. He was a very practical guy.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I sort of respected him for that, but I was also disappointed
You
because
want a
I'm like,
Mercedes?
well, I'm like, if they're offering,
Sure.
take it.
Get
But
the
he was a
Mercedes.
humble man, and then he became a politician. And the only people in Canada that were allowed custom plates were politicians. They could get the license plates at MPP, Member of Provincial Parliament. And so here was my dad with this illustrious, coveted license plate that said MPP
On a Pinto.
on a
Pinto.
Ford Pinto.
Yikes.
And I'm not embarrassed or ashamed, but I just always thought, geez, Dad. you
Juice
should-
it up a little bit.
They're offering it to you, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then he became a minister, and then they would send a town car with a chauffeur to our house every day.
Really?
Yeah, he became the Solicitor General, which is equivalent to your Attorney General here.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so,
Of the
yeah.
country?
Of the province of Ontario.
No kidding.
Yeah, so then the Pinto shame was in the
Got
garage.
the town car.
And then Daddy, then it became almost a little too embarrassing because all of a sudden here's this black town car in our driveway every
Pulling up.
morning. It's very ominous. It was like sort of Secret Service-esque.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
we're all peeking out the window, and then some of the neighbors are rubbing their breasts on their window. They're getting all excited. And
Give him a free show, huh?
All right, now we're getting somewhere. All right, your dad was a pretty high-level Canadian politician, Canadian
Yeah.
Parliament, Attorney
Yeah.
General.
Yeah.
Nice.
not
okay.
a Solicitor General.
Solicitor
In
General.
Canada, it's a different
Same thing, though.
terminology. It's the same position but different title. Yeah.
And was the
Nomenclature.
was the minister in government too? Because a minister here is
Yes.
like a reverend or
No, the
a
Like
priest.
the Minister of Defense.
yeah, that's the
You thought he
minister.
was like you thought he got into religion?
Guy's all
Yeah,
over the place.
the minister is just the title before
Yeah,
the
the
actual.
president of or whatever.
So
Yeah.
no farm, no Corky.
No.
I'm kind of upset.
Well, this is the thing. I've given you a little memory to live with now,
Sure.
and I hope you enjoy that.
What were the
folks.
pets like growing up?
Oh, we had penthouse pets, so they were no. We had a
Penthouse
couple.
pets.
We had
I
a,
forgot that's what they were called.
yeah. I had Cherry was a family pet. No, but we had
I
a
remember Cherry.
we had a little dog named Angus. My dad brought a dog named Angus because he was a little black. Ever heard of the cow Black Angus?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
It's a type of livestock.
Yeah,
So totally black cow.
Black Angus steaks.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so one night, just out of the blue, he brought a little black puppy home named Angus, and we put it downstairs, and it howled and cried all night. I remember I went down, we put him in the little bathroom downstairs, and I went and laid beside him. We had him in a box, and then the next day he was gone. And my dad said, sadly, he was taken from his mother too soon. He still wasn't weaned.
Oh.
And so he still wasn't off the titty milk yet. And so they took him back, and that was the end of Angus.
Damn,
Black
you only had him
Angus.
one night?
One night, but then later on, we got a golden retriever named Duffy.
Who knew how to keep its mouth shut?
Yeah, he knew how to keep his damn furry, stupid mouth shut. But then Duffy, about a year and a half in, got some kind of weird leg disease. Like if you pinched his back legs, one of them, the muscle was all like soft and he'd yelp. And ironically, we had friends that did have a farm named the Legs, and we gave Duffy to the Legs. And ironically, it was a leg that
Issue that
caused us to take Duffy to the Legs.
So your dad did well. Did your mom work?
Yeah, my mom did everything.
Really?
My mom was a social worker.
Even when your dad was the
Yeah, she
Solicitor
was.
General?
My mother was a very giving, loving, sharing person. She helped. She was a social worker initially. She helped prostitutes get off the street and quit heroin and drug
Wow.
addiction.
okay.
And then she became a teacher. Then she became the president of the library in Ontario there.
Wow.
Accomplished family.
Yeah.
And then she became a writer. She wrote some books, and
Jesus.
she became she did. My mom did a lot of many things. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So what were the vacations like? Would you guys go on? Both your parents did well.
My parents, but despite doing well, this hurts me to say this, but they were sort of misers. They were sort of cheap.
Okay.
And I guess that kind of plays into my dad having the cheap car.
The Pinto.
They were children of the Depression, and I don't think they realized it ended.
Right. All right.
So they sort of squandered their money. They weren't flashy people, which, again, I was mixed. I love the humbleness, but I was like, live it up a little. You only
Sure.
live once. And to this day, my dad still, we go to his house, he still has the dishes and spoons and glasses and pots and pans that we ate off as kids.
No kidding.
He still has them all.
Man, does he live in the house you grew up in?
No, he moved. He's old, so he moved to like a gated retirement
Gotcha.
community.
And what was the name of the street that you grew up on?
Elfindale.
Elfindale.
Yeah.
Road, Drive, Avenue.
Elfindale
Terrace.
Crescent. Yeah.
Crescent.
Yeah.
All right, so the Williams did all right.
Pretty
Yeah.
fancy.
That's a nice little picture we got
Yeah.
there.
And the trips were they were frugal, so it's hard to believe now, but when you're a kid you don't know the difference.
Sure.
So they would stuff all of us, the 7 of us, in the Volkswagen station wagon.
Wait, who's the 7? You said you had 4 sisters.
4 sisters and
Angus
me and
and-
my mom and dad.
Oh, yeah, all right,
7
there you
of
go.
us. Someone was driving. The chauffeur.
Hey, you got me on guard now. I can't tell what's a lie and what's
know.
the truth. I love it.
But so they would stuff us all in one little car, and we drove across Canada from Toronto to Vancouver.
That's a hump, huh?
Yeah, that's all. It was crazy.
That's got to be
stuffed
like
in.
10 days or something, right?
Oh, I think it was longer because they sort of took their time, and then we'd stop. We were pulling a trailer that you had to set up at night, and
No, and that's where
Really?
you slept in there?
Yeah.
Like a pop-up?
yeah, pop up. We had to, we'd always get in just as it was getting dark, and we'd have to put all these poles together. And It felt like 10 caterpillars in a crabapple tree. It was horrible. Unbelievable.
And when did you start working as a kid? What was your first job?
My first
Say
job.
astronaut or something like that.
At a
I
pediatric?
wish bone. My first job was at there's a place called the Canadian National Exhibition in Toronto. It was our version of Disneyland.
Okay.
There was no carnivals or rides or anything, but every summer for 3 weeks, the last few weeks of August to Labor Day, the CNE, as they called it, would open. And it was marvelous. It had all the rides and the carnies and
Big attraction.
big attraction. And every kid just, we didn't have anything until that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was 14, I went down with my cousin Chris, and I said, let's get a job at the CNE. And we went down, and there was this thing called the food building.
Okay, man, you guys are great with names.
I know. Everything is so straightforward,
It
dude.
just said food,
Yeah,
big giant
the
word
food
food, and it was the
building.
size of a Home Depot.
Okay.
And you'd go in, and it was just booth after booth after booth, like hundreds of booths of food. And I said, well, go to the food building, and surely we got to get a job at the food building.
Sure.
So we go to the food building, and at the front doors, they got these big front doors. There's hundreds of kids. And I was a resourceful kid. And I said to my cousin Chris, I said, let's go around back. And I said, just follow me, act like you know what you're doing, act like you belong here. Because I knew there'd be a loading dock.
Okay.
So we just walked in the load, like just kind of like we belonged there.
Sure.
No one said a word. We walked in and we looked at the front doors, and all these kids were pressed against the glass. We got in like an hour before they let everyone else in. And we just walked up and down every aisle and said, do you need a job? Like, you need workers?
You're hiring, yeah.
And me and Chris got hired at Silverwood's Dairy, a little, probably about 10-foot wide ice cream thing where you made ice cream and milkshakes.
Nice.
And
All
that was
right.
our first job.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too shabby there.
Yeah, we all
right.
love ice cream.
You guys do Christmas? Did you do Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Colored lights, white lights on the tree.
Colored. with the bubble lights, with the ones that you put them in and they heat up and they bubble.
Sure.
Yeah.
Real tree, I assume?
Real tree.
Good Canadians?
Real grew up on a farm.
Sure.
Real tree. Yeah. Corn. We put up corn
Big
stalks.
corn tree.
Yeah.
One of those famous corn trees.
All right. So you start doing comedy in Toronto, and then you eventually move to L.A.
I think he's actually from Florida.
I know he's Canadian. How much I know.
I know he's from Toronto.
And I know he was in Los Angeles. I've seen some of his pictures. So that much I know is true. Anything else about the guy?
I'm not even sure he's here right now.
I don't think that's Coke in that can.
I don't think so.
It's probably milk.
Elk piss.
This guy's screwballs. All right, you get to L.A.
Do you guys have Cokes, by the way?
Coca-Colas?
Or Pops? Do you have any Pops?
No,
We have sugar-free Red Bull.
Ew. Psycho.
We have,
Who's your nutty friend?
We might have a little bit of Diet Coke.
No, this is fine. I just wondered if you had it.
Are you a big soda guy?
You love Pop? Yeah, I love Pop.
Really? How many? You're not drinking like multiple cans of soda a day, are
Yeah.
you?
I've only seen him once, and he's had one, so I got to assume, there's more. There's more of these throughout the
Yeah, I
day.
love
Really?
it. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Can or bottle?
Whatever's available.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is Coke your favorite?
Yeah. Love
You
it.
stock it at the house?
Yeah.
In what, cans? You buy like 12
Cans
packs?
or bottles. Either way. Yeah.
Really?
Love it.
Drinking regular soda.
Yeah.
You have any other soda other than Coke at the house?
Yeah, sometimes I'll get Cactus Cooler. I like that. I like Grape Crush. I like
Were you allowed to drink it as a kid?
we were allowed, but we rarely got it.
Uh-huh.
My parents like when we were growing up, they probably ordered takeout food like a pizza or something like probably 10 times in my whole life.
Really?
We never got food. We never went to McDonald's.
So your mom
we never
cooked all?
My mom cooked. Yeah, she wasn't a great cook.
Okay.
God
She's out there
rest her.
saving the world.
No Mickey
Yeah.
D's growing up.
Rarely, like we rarely got a chocolate bar, treats. Like it wasn't on their radar. They
No
just
kidding.
we never got it. So
That's why you're drinking soda now.
Yeah.
I think I started to like it more as I grow older.
Sure.
There's a thing you should try too, which is really
Called Diet Coke.
well. You could do it too. Like I call it the beard sizzle. Like after you do like a workout or you play sports or it's just a really hot day, it's not even just the taste. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll come back from playing racquetball or whatever and I'll let it drizzle through my beard, like drip through, and you know how it sizzles?
Sure.
And it just like, and I'll just let it drip down my chest and through my cleavage.
Uh-huh.
And you just feel it like sizzling, eating the Helgermite ants or whatever's in there.
After a good workout, I too like to get very sticky.
You do? What are you doing later, guy?
Play a little racquetball?
A little pickleball and a Mountain Dew bath.
Good gravy.
Huh.
Good.
Okay, I got one for you. What was your first concert?
Oh, the Osmonds.
Really?
shit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, because my dad was a politician, so they'd give him freebies.
Sure.
And at the CNE,
There you go.
the Osmonds and Donnie Osmond and his brothers, and I loved them. And so I went with my two older sisters, and we saw the Osmonds perform.
That's
Probably the height of the Osmonds.
Yeah.
That was the height of the Osmonds.
Yeah,
It was
that's a good
unbelievable. I was in heaven. I couldn't believe it.
Marie Osmond was.
She wasn't around them, but Donnie was like the star, and I loved Donnie. So yeah, that was my first concert.
The Osmonds.
The Osmonds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the name of the mall you went to growing up?
Fairview Mall.
Pretty good mall name.
Yeah, it was right up the road. They built it while I was a kid. It was like there was nothing there, and then they built Fairview Mall.
That's pretty cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and then it was one of those modern malls, like 2 floors with anchor stores at
Yeah,
each
the
end.
big box stores, yeah.
And then me and my buddies just hung out there all the time, and we'd get straws and we'd shoot spitballs at people.
Couple of street toughs.
Because there was 2 floors, so we just
Man,
like
spitballs are good times as a 10-year-old.
yeah.
Who would babysit you growing up? Your sisters?
Sometimes my sisters, but my parents hired nannies. We had nannies at the house for
Okay.
a few German girls and French girls, and
How
Au
big of the
pair.
house? How big was the house?
3 stories: basement, middle, upstairs.
5 bedrooms?
4. My 2 older sisters had to share.
Share a room?
My little sisters had to share, and then I got my own room because I was the only boy.
There you go.
And my window went out onto we added an addition, and they added a family room with a flat roof.
Okay.
And so my window opened up onto that. So I'd sneak out my window every night and go take the flat roof to the pointed roof, and I'd sit on the tip of the roof and listen to Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and Tomita, and
Smoking doobies?
no, just staring up at the heavens,
Okay.
contemplating
I
the
don't
world.
need no doobies.
No, I didn't like the Doobie Brothers. It was mostly Floyd.
Sure. Huh.
All right. Pretty standard childhood.
Yeah.
Nothing pops out garbage-wise. Politician.
Oh, so this is like a ranking thing? Like
Yeah.
we're getting
Little bit.
judged?
You're doing all right.
You're
Oh,
doing
wow.
all right.
You're doing
Yeah,
all right here.
Okay, I already know the answer to this episode. I had a good, healthy upbringing.
Yeah, sounds it.
Yeah.
Two, prominent parents are out there working, doing good.
And how long were you doing stand-up in Toronto before you moved to L.A.?
Probably about 5 years.
5 years. Young guy. You're in your early 20s, I assume.
Early 20s. I got out of college. I did about 5 years. Then I moved to Germany for a year and a half, roughly. And then
What's that all about? What'd you move to Germany for?
it was a fluke.
For stand-up purposes?
No, I went over there. One of my buddies in animation college, Bob.
Okay.
I phoned him one year to see what he was doing for Christmas.
Phoned him.
Yeah. And he was in Germany doing some animation in a studio. And I said, "Oh, you coming home for Christmas?" He goes, "No." And I go, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm over here." I go, "Who's with you?" He goes, "I'm just all by myself." So I said, "Oh, I'm going to come over and I'll spend Christmas with you, So I flew over. It was just supposed to be like a week. And I had just had 4 children's books published that I had written and illustrated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And so he hadn't seen them yet. So I took them over and I had them with me. And then I got there, and the day after I got there, he got fired. Like, I went into his office the first day, and then the next day he got fired.
Hey, you can't be bringing your weird buddies around the office, man. You got to go.
Yeah, so I said to him, I said, "Bob, again, I'm Mr. Industrious, right? The sneaking into the back door."
Sure.
So I said, I always look for openings. And I said or opportunities, I should say. And I said to Bob, I said, "Set up a meeting with your bosses tomorrow. I'm going to take my children's books in and see if I can talk them into doing an animated cartoon out of them."
Okay.
So he set up the meeting. I go in. I sat with them for an hour. They brought in a bottle of champagne. They said, "We want to do it." I said, "The only condition is you hire Bob back as my assistant." And so we got the deal. Bob got hired back. I went home, got my stuff together, and moved back to Germany. And we did computer animation. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
cow. And
Yeah.
did it run? Was it like on German TV?
Well, we got the pilot done, and we were just about to go out with the pilot, and the 2 guys that owned it, who were sort of younger entrepreneurs, the guys who popped the champagne, they blew through all their money, and I do mean blew. Apparently they were partying, and the whole business shut down right when we finished the pilot. So,
Damn.
Shit.
so it was just, but it was sort of, it was meant to be that way because I always knew I had to go to Hollywood.
Okay.
It wasn't a choice with me. Inside, it was a spiritual journey that I knew
Gotcha.
I had to go there. When I got out of college, right when I got out, the first thing I did is I went to Hollywood for 2 days, and I stood in front of the Man's Chinese Theater, and I just said, I'm going to be back here one day.
Wow.
So I knew I was destined to go there. So Germany was just a stopping point, which was amazing. It was one of the best times of my life. I loved it, but
was there any fear of making that leap, or were you looking forward to it?
No, I was excited by it.
Let's go. I need to get there.
Well,
Let's
it
get
wasn't in my mind. It wasn't a choice.
Sure.
I had no say in it. I just knew I was going.
there. Okay.
I knew I had to. When I was in college, in animation school, I told my buddies I'd still not done stand-up or didn't even know I was going to do it. But I remember telling them, I said, I'm going to be on Letterman one day. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I don't know. I just know I'm going to
Corky
be
knows
on."
a guy over there.
Yeah,
He's gonna
Corky's
get me in.
going to book me, but I just said I know I'm going to be on Letterman, and I didn't know how. And then eventually this whole stand-up journey happened,
Wow.
and 10 years later I was on Letterman.
That's
And
crazy.
they all called me, and they were watching, and we remember you said that, and so it was kind of cool.
All right, that's awesome, man.
Huh.
I love it. Kip, this is True Classics.
The truest of the classics.
I'm not wearing a True Classic right now because I couldn't find it this morning, and you know what I am?
What?
Uncomfortable.
Bozo.
Because it's not a True Classic. This shirt doesn't fit the way a good True Classic does. They're thinner. When you wash them, they get better. They age like fine wine. Gang, if you like looking good in a T-shirt, do yourself a favor. Get over there to True Classics. You got designed to accentuate your best features. True Classic shirts are tailored for a perfect fit. Snug in the arms and chest with a little bit of wiggle room around the belly, if you know what I mean. You look like a stud. You feel like The Rock walking around.
The best part is True Classic sells premium products at an affordable price. You can get their best-selling T-shirts, hoodies, jeans, or more in 3, 6, 9-packs. I'm a 9-pack man. I go through a lot of tees.
Damn, you go heavy?
I go heavy. I wear the shit out of these tees. Plus, it makes you feel like you went to the gym when you didn't.
Dude, they're so
You want to
good.
walk around a little yoked up? That's what you're doing.
They're comfortable.
If you're looking to dress up, True Classics has you covered in their Oxfords, polos, and even their classy blazers. So if you got a court date, a communion, whatever you need, they got you covered. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now. Our exclusive link at trueclassics.com/garbage. Save up to 25% on your first order.
There you go.
Discover the perfect blend of summer vibes, timeless elegance with True Classic. trueclassic.com/garbage. Shop now. Elevate your summer wardrobe with ease. Do it.
Have you always been good with money?
Yep.
Like responsible with it?
Very so. I've never been in debt my whole life. I've never missed a credit card payment.
Saved, all that kind of stuff? Did you do anything crazy when you got your first big check working the movies or stand-up? Jet ski, anything like that? Do you do any kind of crazy shit like that?
Expensive jacket, a watch, somewhere you're like, I spent half a check on this. I didn't need to do that.
Yeah, I remember I went on a road trip with my buddy, and I walked into we came to some kind of artsy fartsy town that had a lot of antique shops and stuff like that. And we walked in, and there was like wooden carvings and native art, and I just looked at my buddy and I just went, "Money is no object." And I just started grabbing shit like I didn't even care. I bought all these little stats figurines and carvings and stuff. And then I must have said it about 8 times. I just went, "Look at that. Money is no object." And I just grab it and take it up.
Bought a bunch of cigar stores.
And then I bought my parents a bunch of cool stuff. Like I bought my parents, one of those giant TVs at the time, the huge square ones and the or rectangles, sorry. And just some stuff from my parents and
That's awesome.
my sisters. I bought one time my sister got a new house, and I went up and just bought her like a new bed and TV, and I didn't even ask her. And I surprised her. I came home and it was all, and I just thought it would be a fun thing to do.
Very nice.
But I think sometimes when you decorate a house, you're like, wait, that's not my style.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, hey, I'm getting you all this stuff.
I didn't need the Shark Tank in
Yeah,
here.
I think she liked it, but I think she was also like, I wouldn't have picked that one in particular. But
Race car bed? What are we doing here?
stuff like that. And then just trips and things like that.
How old were
Very
you when you
cool.
got your passport?
Oh, my passport? I didn't become a citizen till... What year was Obama's first year?
No, I mean passport in Canada.
2009?
Like when's the first time you traveled outside of Canada that wasn't the U.S.
Oh.
Like, did you go to Europe or
as a kid?
Mexico?
No, when I was in boarding school, my roommate was from Bermuda.
Okay.
And we became buddies, and so he invited me to go to Bermuda.
Okay.
So when I was a little kid, I went to Bermuda and stayed with his family for 2 weeks. So that was...
Pretty
But
good
I
vacation.
don't know anything about passports. I don't even know if I had one, but I must have.
They went around the back.
When were you in boarding school?
That was
He was 38.
that was from the time I was 11 to 15.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before high school. So you did boarding school.
Yeah.
You did boarding school and elementary school, and then went home for high school.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a Quaker school, too. It was run by Quakers.
Was it?
I went to one of those.
Did you? Which one?
It's called Buxton. It's in Williamstown, Massachusetts.
Whoa. What was your headmaster's name?
Bill.
What was the last name?
I couldn't tell you.
That's a weird name.
You don't know they couldn't tell you?
He was Italian.
It sounds like it was North American Indian.
I don't know why
actually.
I'm blanking on him now. I can't remember.
Well, mine was Harry Beer. Can you believe it? I went to a Quaker school, and the headmaster's last name was Beer.
Was it a disciplinary thing, or like what was the?
My dad said it was because they wanted me to have a better education. But I think instinctively, I started to become sort of a defiant kid.
Sure.
And here's my dad, the politician. And I think he sensed rumblings of a troublemaker, and I think he sent me up there to kind of
straighten you out a little bit.
Not straighten me out, to get me out of the picture.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, which wasn't psychologically was a tough thing to deal with as a kid.
Sure.
But as a kid, I was ahead in my years, and I got it. And
Wow.
I think in retrospect, it made me the strong person that I am, because I had to become a survivor in an environment that was very William Golding, Lord of the Flies-esque, where
Gotcha.
you're in a tribe of unsupervised adolescent boys full of rage and anger and mischief, and it's sort of it can be a violent environment. And
Gotcha.
so I also learned not just to survive, but I think I also learned how to cut my teeth on humor and wit, because I wasn't a big kid.
Your defense, you know,
But
was your
I
tool.
could shut a bully down with my humor and my quick wit. And the big guys learned quickly that if they beat me up or messed with me, there was going to be payback later, because I could come up with a catchphrase for a kid and have the whole school saying it within 2 days. And so they walked
Williams is
carefully.
a good writer.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was really just a survival instinct.
So
you know?
you think he wanted to get you out of the picture so you didn't cause him any political embarrassment?
That's my suspicion. I've never had that conversation with him, but
Gotcha.
I think my instincts, and I'm not
Interesting.
I'm not bitter about it. I've talked to him about it, and it's just it is what it is, and so that's my belief, because I was doing just fine in school, so it wasn't about getting me a better education.
Right.
Interesting.
Wow.
Quite the upbringing.
Yeah.
Well-to-do parents, good education. Though
Boarding
tough.
school.
Boarding school. Not bad.
Okay.
Buys his sister things.
Yeah.
Never blew his money.
No, I've been great with my money.
Except that antique shop, but hey, who hasn't been there?
Sure. Do you still
Yeah.
have any of that stuff?
Yeah,
You-
I still have one of them in my living room still. Yeah.
How much do you think you dropped in that antique store?
Oh, it wasn't a lot, but remember I came from, living hand to mouth.
Sure.
And here's a wooden statue of an African pelican, that I thought looked cool for, $400.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But to spend $400 on something that didn't give you any return except aesthetically, like you couldn't eat it, you couldn't. And
Understandable.
when you're struggling, you usually spend your money on things that help you survive. And here was this thing that was not a necessity, and $400, but it felt good, to be honest.
Sure. Sometimes when you're like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
It feels nice.
What was the struggle period in Los Angeles from the time you got there to when you started booking stuff?
There was really it was a fairly fast
Track.
Now, that being said, the money didn't come in super quickly, but
Gotcha.
my notoriety caught on almost immediately. I mean,
Right.
the first night I went on stage in Hollywood, I got offered a TV show when I walked
No
off stage.
shit.
In fact, 2 of them. Yeah. And
What
it was-
year
What
is
was
this?
it? Sorry.
This was the Laugh Factory in the late 80s, like 88, 89.
That's awesome.
That's the height of it.
Yeah.
And that was when they were doing a lot of these like evening at the improvs and the stand-up comedy shows.
Gotcha.
And so I went up, and when I walked off, 2 producers ran up to me. You want to be? And I was just like, you know, here's 7 years in Canada with nothing, and here's 7 minutes in LA, and I get 2 TV off, and it just sort of went from there. You know, I'd be doing shows, and, you know, Bob Odenkirk walked up to me after a show one night. He goes, "You want to be on Conan? You're hilarious." And I went, "Okay." And then Bob got me on Conan, you know, and it just kept going. So nothing stopped, but then the money caught up too as things started to get
development deals, et cetera,
deals,
holding deals,
movie. I was sort of spoiled because I didn't have to audition for much. Like my first acting gig was I auditioned for Ellen DeGeneres had a TV show called These Friends of Mine, I think it was called. It was her first sitcom before the Ellen sitcom.
Okay.
So I did a guest star on that. Me and Molly Shannon were the 2 guest stars.
Wow.
And then my next acting gig, I got offered the lead in my own sitcom called Simon, and Jason Bateman played my brother. So everything happened really fast.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It goes back to your thing, your calling of being there. It's very kismet of like, all right, I'm here. And then
you still got maple syrup on your hands.
I still have maple syrup and manatee grease on my knees.
He's got Coca-Cola in his beer to give him a goddamn TV show.
Why do you have manatee
He's
grease?
got the sizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
nice.
But that plays into what I said. I never had any anxiety, and not to sound cocky about it, but I never had any anxiety or fear, or I just. It's like I said, I foresaw most of it, you know, and it made it very stress-free. Mm-hmm. I know Hollywood can be very but I never worried. I just somehow could feel it was coming, which sounds
amazing.
It sounds almost you know, pretentious, but it's just being honest.
That doesn't come off as that. It comes off as, you know, like you said, like some sort of calling in you of like, I need to do this. I have to do this. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah,
man, I love it.
Huh?
Yeah,
that's all right.
All right.
And then you were cooking. After that, you started cooking.
Yeah, things.
Cash is coming in. You're booking work.
Yeah, just really good stuff. Kept doing things.
Did you keep it humble as far as like the living situation, the car? Like I'm talking like mid '90s. Did you have like a house in the hills? Were you driving a Beamer?
Well, when I was in college with my buddies, I told them, I said, you know, somebody's got to float around in a pool all afternoon and make love to gorgeous models and live in a nice house in the hills. Yeah. And that was all part of it. So
you did it?
I got a nice house with a pool, and I didn't go nuts with the cars, but I got the cars that I wanted. And,
gotcha.
Which were what, if you don't mind me asking?
I love pickup trucks. So I had like big Dodge Ram pickup trucks. I could throw my hockey gear in the back and go play hockey, and it was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a Ferrari guy or
yeah.
It's funny because I could have bought them, but to me they just seemed like too much maintenance, and I didn't like I guess maybe it's a bit of my dad creeping in. I didn't like.
I'll take the Pinto,
I didn't want the attention, you know. It's like
with the custom license plate, though.
Yeah.
So you say you could have bought Ferraris. So you're cooking.
Oh yeah, I could have bought 4 or 5 Ferraris.
LA and
I have to sell the house after.
So LA in the '90s for you was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
Wonderful.
Fucking
Old school, man.
Yeah.
And what was the first? This is more of just me here. What was the first movie? Was it Dumb and Dumber?
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And that was so iconic.
You're seen in that, obviously.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'm just fanboying. But yeah, that is like fucking.
Yeah,
that's
that was
amazing.
pretty. I had no idea it was going to be. To be honest, when I read the script, I didn't think it was funny. Like, I was just like, eh. And then, you know, you go see it, and that tells you the power of a true, strong, comedic person. Mm-hmm. Like, nowadays, they make comedies, and they'll put who's ever hot, like a wrestler or a rapper, or totally miscast. But then you decide to take a comedy script and put a guy that's 100% high-octane comedy, Jim Carrey,
Of course.
and you can't stop it. And that's like Mike Myers in Austin Powers. Like, these were the right guys for the job. And these people in Hollywood nowadays, let's get that guy because he has a hot rap song. Or let's get that guy because he's great in WrestleMania 3. Like, it's so sad to see. And not only that, you're depriving the audience. You're depriving these incredible comedians of having a chance to flower. You don't see a a comedian. You don't see a comedian doing a rap movie. You don't see a comedian doing a wrestling movie. Like, leave the comedy to the comedians, you know?
Yeah.
But they've ruined it because they just think, oh, this person's popping right now will make money. But meanwhile, who goes back and watches those movies? But people will always go back and watch Austin Powers.
Dumb and Dumber. I'll watch
and
it on
Dumb
any
and
plane that I'm
Dumber,
on when
and
I see
even
it,
Jerry Lewis. Like that, you want to watch a comedic artist show his art, and that's that's what I mean. Not that the script was horrible, but it didn't make me laugh. But then when I saw
When
Jim
somebody
bring
gets
it
a
to
hold of
life,
it,
I was
yeah.
like, wow, what a. And the same with Something About Mary. I didn't really I didn't really laugh at it. But then when Ben and Matt Dillon, wow,
Man, Matt Dillon in
they
that.
just brought it to life, you know. And that
I
tribute.
also I forgot you were in that. I mean, it's just you've been in so
I
many
know,
things.
it's weird.
And then when you said it, your character popped in my head. I was like, oh, one of the funny.
Yeah.
So good.
And that the Farrelly brothers too, obviously, comedy directors.
Yeah, that's their.
You know, a
they
lot
put
of
that
times
first,
the
yeah.
same thing. You get directors that comedy's not their niche, and it's like put people in their lanes. I'm not saying don't give other people a chance, but you know, if you
Let the
got-
pros do what they
Yeah.
what they do best.
yeah.
We just watched Something About Mary not that long ago, and it's crazy to see. I can't think of his name, but he played the therapist. He was the dad in Step Brothers.
Oh yeah, he was in Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah, but it took
Yeah.
him it's so long. Like that felt like so long ago, and like only like the last few years has he really gotten like a really big pop and a lot of steady stuff. I can't
Yeah.
think of his name. He's the dad in Step Brothers.
yeah,
He's
I
a
don't know
great
why I can't
actor.
believe
Oh,
it,
the best.
Very intense.
Yeah.
And he can vacillate between comedy and drama really
Yeah,
well.
Yes.
well, yeah.
That's a rarity, but he's very good tonally.
Richard Jenkins.
Richard Jenkins. Thank you, T.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
Let's get to some. I want to get to some.
Yeah, so
Are you
some stuff
garbage
now,
questions?
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Am I
Okay.
what?
So I want to get to some. Are you garbage
Oh,
questions? Find
so-
out about you a little
So
bit.
those were all the Are You
That
Good?
was the backstory.
That was.
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
the craziest one we've ever had.
sure.
But that was the backstory.
Yeah, okay. What about my front?
Let's get into
Take
it.
a peek after the show.
Nice try, Nelly
Um,
Furtado.
Where do you like to go on vacation now?
Everywhere.
Are you a single guy, married?
Single. My take on vacations is, when you buy a house, do you go in every room or do you leave some of the doors shut? And that's your world, your house. So I look at the globe as my planet, and it's full of doors, and so I want to go in and see as many doors as I can.
Great
So
answer.
I've traveled all over the world extensively.
Okay.
I just got back from the Galapagos Islands like
No
2 months ago.
shit.
Are the turtles as big as they say?
Oh yeah, they're huge. Yeah.
Sick.
I mean, I didn't see any leatherbacks, which are the biggest of the turtle species, but I was surrounded by sea turtles holding their flippers, like just stunning, beautiful.
Now, when you obviously, are you doing adventures like that everywhere you go? Like wherever you go, you're doing the
Or do you just go and sit on a beach somewhere?
No, I like to be interactive.
Yeah.
I like to
you're
really
zip lining or whatever.
I like nature. I like going in nature and seeing nature.
Are you
things.
doing this solo, or are you going with a friend or somebody?
I do a lot of it solo, but every now
No
and then I'll
kidding.
go with someone. But I find it's inhibiting when you go with someone.
I'm doing it
Okay.
how you want to do it.
Yeah, there's always that. Oh, we should go zip lining, but they probably don't want to, or I don't know. I like the company, but I find there's a higher level of adventure when I go on my own. I'm totally uninhibited, and I take my dolls with me everywhere I go, and I film them. So they come with me on my adventures. And
Your
so
dolls?
I have these two dolls. They look like Ken dolls.
Uh-huh.
I call them tender frienders because they're very tender, and they have white underpants
We're back on the farm.
and they have black loafers. And so I took them to the Galapagos. And
Now I don't even know if you went to the Galapagos Islands.
yeah, and they've been to
It's also, I didn't realize that. I'm just taking it.
know,
I'm
man.
taking everything he says.
He sucks you in.
The Galapagos Islands is a
He's got turtle vids on the gram. Galapagos Islands checks out.
that
Okay.
could be an aquarium. I've been to
He could have been
Camden.
setting this up all week. We don't know.
It goes deeper than I thought.
But I could also see you taking dolls with you on those trips.
Yeah.
Just
I have them with me in New York. I have them in my suitcase.
We'll need photos for proof of life.
that also makes me think the hotel you said you're staying at isn't really where you're staying at.
Yeah, it is.
You can show me the room key. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Room number 742-119-86C3POR2D2.
Come over if you're nasty.
Yeah.
So you travel the world by yourself.
Well, with the dolls.
Of course, I
And
forgot.
they go on adventures with me, and I shoot them. I did last year. I took them to Japan. They went to see the snow monkeys. I had them out on the bullet train.
And where do you post these photos?
Yeah, they're on my Patreon. They're movies. I make movies. They're on my Patreon.
Is that www.patreon?
Let's not do the W thing. I think we
Toby,
might
get on
wanna-
that.
Yeah,
I want to find out what we're dealing with there.
yeah, Patreon, and they're called Two Guys in Their Underpants because they have white boxers and black loafers.
Okay.
You know, do I have my phone here? Where did I put my? Here it is.
I could see him being serious.
Oh, I for sure can. I'm not sure, but I
Let's see.
think
I might have a video of them in the Galapagos I can show you. Let's
surfing
see.
on a turtle.
Let's see here. Where are you, fellas?
It's too funny, man.
Where are you?
Toby's fucking looking.
Toby's joining the Patreon. Are you doing cooking at the house?
Oh,
Are you ordering takeout? What's going on?
hold on.
Are the dolls cooking?
Here's a picture of the guys in London, England, looking at Big Ben with English muffins on their heads.
Oh, he's very he is. They are dolls in their underwear.
He does
One looks
take
like
two.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, one I had to draw a mustache on one because they're exactly the same.
Sure.
So one talks like this, and the other one's very tender.
Okay.
He talks like this.
And they have English muffins on their heads.
Well, because they're in England.
yeah.
Duh.
I was just saying it for the audio
All
listener.
right. I was about to say, not that that's not fun and I don't love it. That man, look at this guy. But it's still at the heart of it.
Yeah.
You are traveling around the world, educating yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing these adventures.
Yeah.
You have the world as your
Oyster.
as you say, your living room. That's pretty classy, despite the two toys.
Well, yeah. No, it's you know, I always said I want to live this life and see my environment. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been to the Amazon, been to the Taj Mahal, I've been
Egypt,
to
the pyramids, all that stuff.
I've been inside
I've been
the
to Atlantic
pyramids.
City too.
I've been to Everest. I've been to.
Really?
I've rode elephant back through Nepal looking for tigers. I've been on the volcanoes of Rwanda with the mountain gorillas. I've been everywhere.
Seeing Harland Williams.
Yeah,
on
if
an
you're on
elephant.
vacation with your family, you look over, Harland Williams is there with two dolls.
It happens.
on
Yeah.
top of an elephant.
Yeah. It's sort of fun. That's where I realized the reach of movies.
Oh, of course.
Because I'll go to these remote places. I was on Easter Island, and the
shit.
villagers brought their kids and asked me to kiss them on the cheek because I was Rocket Man.
No.
And it was just like that was when I first realized the
scale
power
of
of
it,
movies.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and people, I'd be in India, I'd be here, I'd be there, and they'd be like, and it's one thing to get recognized at the mall in Cleveland,
the airport or
but
something.
when I'd go to these
the mall in Cleveland.
the Easter Island's the second most remote geographical spot on the planet.
That's
to get
crazy.
recognized in these obscure places, it was it really was an eye opener.
That's wild. So you saw the guys. You saw the heads.
Oh yeah, I took a piece. I take a little piece of every, like Machu Picchu. I have a piece
Ooh,
of
I'd
it.
be scared to do that.
Yeah, I take a little memento from. I scraped a piece off the Taj Mahal. You know, I took.
Really?
I take a little piece, physical piece of where
Each
I go
thing,
with
yeah.
me, and I put them in a shadow box so that I have
Displayed.
memories of all these places and things, and yeah.
Deep.
Yeah.
Deep and delicious cake by McCain's.
And you drive the trucks around. What are you driving around? You driving around
Now
town?
I have Teslas.
Teslas. You're a
I
Tesla
got
guy.
in early. I'm on my fourth Tesla. I get a 3-year lease
Okay.
because the technology's moving so
Advances.
quickly.
Sure.
So every 3 years I get a little treat. I get the new,
The
it's
new
very
gizmos.
exciting. Yeah.
And your primary residence is in L.A. You live out in L.A.
Yeah, that's one of my houses.
How many
Okay.
houses? Where you got houses?
I have 3 houses.
Love this.
Love it. This is what we love.
I forget who we're talking to. Yeah.
It's crazy. Where are the other ones?
I'm not gonna
Disclose?
broadcast. Yeah.
Okay,
love
of
it.
course.
Let's just say they're very remote, nature,
I love
and
this.
completely opposite of Los Angeles.
Okay, love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you cook at home for yourself when you're at the house?
I do a little. When I'm at the other place, I do because I have to. There's
The
no.
remoteness of it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's an island, so
So-
it's I have no choice. But
It's probably the North Pole or something.
but the other in L.A. I cook a little bit, but just a little bit.
So then what,
Mostly,
is it going out or you
I
getting
like to
delivered?
go out. I like to go out and eat, you know, and I like to get deliveries.
Are you a foodie? Or are you going out to like nice new restaurants? Or is
I
that
like both. I
Yeah.
like a good lobster dinner, like a fancy dinner. I also like an In-N-Out burger. Like I mix it up.
Yeah.
Did you used to go out in L.A. back then? Would you like go to like the Viper Room and hang out like on the scene like that?
No, never.
Never did any of that. But
No.
you'd go to like, would you go to like Nobu?
There was one portion in my life where I did it for about a year and a half. I went through some personal. I had a bad
Developments.
breakup.
Gotcha.
I was get divorced.
Okay.
And that was the most painful part of my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my buddies who was sort of in tune with the scene, like the clubbing
I
and
gotcha.
that,
Sure.
he sort of detected I needed stimuli
distraction
because
or something,
I
yeah.
was sad. I was very broken up about it. And so he kind of said, hey, come out with me. It wasn't a world I was familiar with at all. And so for about a year, I immersed in that a little bit. Not
Gotcha.
a lot, but
I got you.
and it was super fun. But at the end of the day, it's just not my vibe.
Not who you are,
Sure.
yeah.
I
Listen, you
remember-
can't do beer bongs with Mario Lopez every night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta-
Sure.
No.
And who's your crew out there? Who do you roll around with?
I have just a small group of buddies that
Okay.
I like, girlfriends and guy friends that I stay close. Some are in the comedy world, but most of them are maybe actors and just have buddies that I actually went to college with that
Gotcha.
I still am close with. And
You guys
so,
will go to dinner. You'll do some
Yeah,
stuff.
mhm,
Any
yeah.
vacations with them? You ever go away with friends?
yeah, sometimes I'll do that a little bit, or they'll come see me at my other place, or go
Sure.
fishing and stuff. But
I like that.
yeah, so
And did you order in takeout? You getting takeout to the house, or you going
Yeah.
out?
both. Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get takeout, or I'll go out, or I'll
What'd you have for-
drive myself there.
What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Your wife? Are you married? Oh, thank God.
He's engaged.
Is he? I just went to the had breakfast at the hotel I was at because I was sort of in a rush. So
Okay.
yeah,
Eggs and bacon?
yeah, bacon and eggs over medium.
Over medium?
Yeah, and I like turtle eggs. I get turtle eggs.
why you went to
endangered,
Easter Island.
endangered turtle eggs. Delicious.
I mean,
Do you brush your teeth in the shower?
I have, but it's not common.
Will you pee in the shower?
Oh yeah,
Pee in the shower.
yeah.
you ever left
Yeah.
a bad Yelp review anywhere?
I don't really even know what Yelp is.
That's good. Good answer.
Is the house like decorated? Like, do you have like matching silverware, matching plates, all that kind of stuff?
Did
Is
you-
it done real nice?
Did you have someone come in and do it like, hey?
And I just asked because you said you're a single guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm an artist, so I have a good sense of tone
Okay.
and matching things. And so people often ask me if someone did the house when they come. But
Really?
I do everything myself.
No shit.
This guy's classy.
And I'm very meticulous about it. I won't just go out and carpet bomb the house. I will spot decorate. Like I'll see a corner, or I'll have a vision for
An
a
area,
couch or
yeah.
a piece of furniture, and I will wait sometimes a year and a half until I see it and go, yes, that's what's gonna fit there. So in the end, it makes for it looks good.
Did you buy the house or did you build it?
I bought the house. Yeah,
Redo it when you moved in?
portions of it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You got a pool now?
yeah. Pool. Yeah,
Hot salt water or fresh water? Or
fresh.
fresh?
Yeah.
What's the refrigerator? Sub-Z? Viking? What are we using in the house? Is it stainless steel?
Yeah, stainless steel.
Okay. If we came over to your house right now and we asked you
Can
for
we?
a glass of you wanna hang out with us?
Sure, yeah, you can.
If we came over and you said, hey, do you guys want a glass of water? What would you be giving us? Would you be giving us a bottle of water? Would it be tap water?
No, a bottle. I've never drank tap water.
Never.
Well, think of it. You know,
Sure.
think about all the animals on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Think about cancer and human-related diseases.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen a grizzly bear with leukemia? You ever seen a wolf with a tumor? You ever seen a Siberian tiger with lung cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Now cut to your domestic animals. They've got tumors, cancer, all these ailments that us humans have. What's the common thing that we share? We don't share their food, but we give them tap water every day of their lives. So I'm just saying, is there a correlation? Something seems weird with tap water, so I stay away from it.
Interesting. Is your refrigerator lined up and like do you keep the house neat and clean?
You love my refrigerator.
He loves all
I like all
refrigerators.
I do keep my house clean. I do have a cleaning
tell.
lady that comes every 2 weeks, but I like it to be clean.
He's a very calculated guy.
He is, man.
Yeah.
Well-
in a good way, not in a good way. You're
I'd-
thoughtful.
I'd
is the
say
word.
yes,
Yeah.
but there's a side of me that's very spontaneous and uncalculated. So I like the excitement when they merge.
Sure.
King size bed?
Yeah, California
Cali
King.
King.
You
Yeah.
fall asleep watching TV, or when you go to bed, you go to bed?
No, I used to fall asleep mostly. I'd put on the soundtrack to Blade Runner.
Okay.
By the original Blade Runner. If
No,
you've
I'm
ever-
with you on that.
If you've ever heard of Tangerine Dream, or no, Vangelis did the soundtrack, and
I
it's
gotcha.
very ethereal. And anyone who's having sleep issues, listen to that album, and it will put. I rarely get to the second or third song.
Huh.
It's
I
beautiful.
can see that.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah, it's amazing.
that. Yeah. What a ride.
Yeah. Classy
Classy.
guy.
You're class
Classy
100%.
guy.
Oh,
through.
thank you.
And I love
100%.
That's
Yeah.
very kind.
Yeah, that was
Thank you.
that was a wild ride right there, my friend.
Started off on a farm
Yeah,
an hour and a
dude,
half
it's
outside of
crazy.
Toronto.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harland Williams.
Thank
You can hear him every week on his amazing podcast, Harland Highway, and you got Wingman coming out.
Wingman's a movie I wrote, directed, and I'm starring in, and we just finished editing it
Awesome.
on 3 days ago, and I don't know when or where it's coming out, but look forward to it. It's
Awesome.
We love it.
edgy comedy, yeah.
Great.
We're big fans. This was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was
man.
such a treat for
An
us.
honor.
We
Thank
honestly
you.
can't thank you enough. Kippy, what do you got for him?
Guys, we're all over the road. Tour dates, tickets for the Route 66 tour are all available at rugarbage.com. Check it out.
Gang, we love you, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.